Many weapons in Battlefield 6, but which is the best weapons for you after this recent update? This is the video for you, so make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and let's get into it. So the first weapon we're going to start off with, as it is a really popular weapon overall, is the M16A4. This is a pretty good one because it will do from its medium range a good rate of fire of 771, with that damage of 26, the muzzle velocity can be up to 850. But now let's go and deep dive into the setup. It's a personal preference when it really does come to sights. You can just go for sight itself, or you can honestly go for iron sight. I believe the best iron sight one is actually this one here. So if you guys are not like a big deal about sights and stuff, you can just go iron sight. But for me personally, I just go for the regular 1x. After that, you're moving yourself over to the full auto. So with the full auto, you don't have to use this as well, because this is the thing, like so many people say, oh, it's actually pretty good as a burst fire, but then many people say, honestly, it's just fine with full auto. For me, I'm way more comfortable with having it auto than it's burst fire, but you really can't go wrong with either. I will be showing another build of this weapon, and it'll be a burst fire build, but this is the one I'm using right now. I'm using the standard rounds, magazine type, some pretty interesting ones, as you can go up to 40 bullets. For me, you have to just go for the 30 fast. It's the only one you really want to go for. Like, yes, you can increase it to 36 if you really needed to, because it's pretty simple to get yourself that spare 5 points. But the 30 fast, you're just going to reload way more consistent, and it's only an extra 5 points compared to the base 30. As you can see anyway, from 30 to 40 with the amount of points increase, so that's like, what, 15 points increase there, and then like, 20 points increase there. That's just a lot of points you have to sacrifice so much on. So the 30 fast is my choice. Grips, there is multiple you can mess about with, but the one thing I really want you guys to look at is right down to the bottom. You see how the ADS speed is a 250? Well, if I go for vertical, I'm going to increase that to 300. It's just going to make everything so much more slower. Like, let me put this on, right? But aim down sight. You see that? Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that at all. And you're going to put this one on. Was it that one? Yeah, okay, it was that one. And see? There we go. It makes such a big difference. What you're going to like about this sight anyway is it's going to help out its mobility. And it's a perfect balance between its precision and control. With a full auto, you really can go with a Cairo, but using that full auto attachment, it took so many points away, what's really stressful, because I have to go for the extended. It's the only one I really feel like is the best choice after the Cairo, and that helps out with the 850 muzzle velocity. Then after that, right at the end, we are using our 20-point suppressor. And here is my burst fire build. We're using our 1x sight, using the buffer attachment, and then you go for the hollow points, and then it'll be the 30 fast, 25 vertical grip. ADS speed will be slower for this build, and I'm using a heavy extended, and then it's the 25-point suppressor, and that is the build right there. Of course, you can change it around if you really want to. I feel like with the M16A4, you can't go wrong with that much, but these are going to be some good builds for you. The next build we have is the MVO. You seeing it right now? Yeah, I'm using a thermal sight for it. It's not recommended, you don't have to use it. Honestly, thermal sight kind of surprisingly works really well in Battlefield, even on them brighter maps because of the visibility, and it just works so well. So I really do recommend people to try out thermal sight. It doesn't matter on the map, it really doesn't. It's just if you really do struggle with visibility issues, especially if you have a high FOV, then thermal sight is for you. And that is your 1.50 thermal sight of a cost of 25 points. I'm using my buffer attachment to help out with the visual recoil, your standard rounds, the 30 fast. I honestly go with it with most weapons. The 10 points vertical grip, I know, right? You think, why don't you go for something higher? You don't really need to. The reason why you don't need to is because you can go with the Cairo, and that will help out so much with the accuracy. And to help out with the recoil build up and the recoil improvement is your 25 points long suppressor. And there we go, that is the full setup build for the MVO. Please tell me you haven't been sleeping under a rock, because this is the SG553R, a 35 damage. Use that 1x sight. Please go for the buffer attachment, as it does have a little bit of a shake, but it isn't so severe. The standard rounds, and the 36 magazine. You can decrease it if you need that extra spare 5 points, as the 30 fast is going to work well too. Your 25 points vertical grip. This is where it's going to make you so consistent when it comes to tracking. the extended for the high muzzle velocity of 603, and at 25 points long suppressor. And right at the end, you're going to be using the green laser sight for any close quarter situations, as it is a carbine. You got to do something like that. Carbines are really good for its close to medium range, so every time you have them close engagements, a laser sight is going to help so much. If you've been playing the Battle Royale, then you know the M123K LMG is super deadly and consistent for that mode, but multiplayer you don't want to be missing out on, because it has a really high rate of fire. Sights is a personal preference with this, please customize it the way you want it. I prefer the smaller sights, but not everyone likes that with LMGs. The hollow points, this weapon is already doing an 830 rate of fire. You're literally just putting the icing on the cake. The 100 rounds, unless you want to go for 200, there is no need. Look how much it's taken away. 50 points, you don't want that. Just go for the basic 5. But I have been going pretty crazy with this grip. I'm using a 35 points grip. The heavy extended to help out with the muzzle velocity, so I can keep myself more consistent. Get yourself stationed up, especially if you're playing breakthrough. Get yourself in a good position and just mow them down. The 25 point suppressor to help out with them engagements. If there's a lot of people, you need to stay consistent on them targets. You already saw I'm using the hollow points, so you need to be aiming for the headshots. And there we go, that is the full setup. You're gonna love this LMG, I'm not kidding you. A high TTK one. The weapon, what it has never disappointed me ever since this game has launched, and even after this update. It's still great. It's the M4A1. I feel like everyone has used this at this point. It's honestly a perfect time to show it off, as you want an upgraded version. Your one times, but you can't go wrong with iron sight, trust me. Buffer attachment, most important thing for this gun. A high rate of fire of 900. You want to stay consistent, and official recoil is going to help you out with that. The hollow points, you know I got to go crazy for this one. The 30 fast is all you really need. And that 20 points vertical grip, the extended for the high muzzle velocity, and the 25 points to help you out with the reduced recoil on that long suppressor. And make sure you're equipped a green laser sight. You can go for green or you can go for red. Many people would choose to use the red laser sight because it doesn't show too much visual. But the green laser sight is obviously going to give you more accuracy of its hip fire, but there is a chance people will see you. There's been many times I've been having gunfights and I'm just like, oh, I see someone hiding because they're laser. It definitely does give it away. If a laser isn't for you, then you can go for the violet laser sight. And there we go. That is the top 5 builds in this mid-season update. Thank you very much for watching it. It's super early right now. I'm making this video like 7 in the morning. The update has been out for a couple hours, so I've been grinding, testing out what works and doesn't. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the battlefield.